As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Golden Aura, we have our South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Dragon KaiZ Gaming, DKZ. It is herO. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player representing himself, currently teamless. It is NightMare. Here we go. So we are getting into our next match. Again, Dark is patiently waiting for a Protoss player, but which Protoss player will it be? That is the question. Will it be herO or NightMare? Again, NightMare, he has been popping off recently. He's been looking damn powerful against Terran players and even against Protoss. We have seen NightMare bring herO down before, but despite that, herO is still the favorite player. Is still coming in as the favorite. But we'll see if NightMare can pull off another upset. Or can upset herO again. Maybe the better way of putting it. But now, 2 gate openers. Double gate opener here out of NightMare. Double gateways here out of herO as well. Everything looking as it should. And really, we're just waiting for the cyber cores. We're waiting for the pairing of units coming out from both herO and NightMare. The first and second unit of choice. Do we go for double adept, double stalker, or stalker sentry? How will we open up? Meanwhile, second pylon is thrown down for herO. Second pylon is thrown down for NightMare. So no one is proxying. No one is proxying, and both players are fully aware of that as well. Both herO and NightMare, they do get eyes on each other's pylons. And so far, everything is looking above board. Everything is looking standard in our openers. And here we go with the completion of the cyber core. We have our first 2 units of choice. It's going to be double stalker out of NightMare, out of herO, and NightMare going for double adept. Now, if you remember, every single game between NightMare and Creator, he opened up double adept. It was the first 2 games where he went double adept into Stargate. It was in game 3 where he did deviate, and herO is going for a row. Oh my god, Bobby, this is going to be a short one. It's going to be a short series. herO opening up Robo. Now, Robo is a very safe way to open. You can get into early game Immortals and you can defend against a 1-base all-in. But if we throw down a 3rd gateway, this Robo can be for a Prism, and we ourselves can go for a 1-base all-in instead. There it is, 3rd gateway, 1-base all-in. So herO, he's going to be hyper-aggressive. NightMare is going to be, it's going to be on him to defend as he does open up with a Nexus. Economic opener here out of NightMare. Throws down a shield battery here on the low ground. NightMare is the defender. herO is the aggressor. Can NightMare hold? Can he survive? Can he survive here? We have both adepts staying back at home. Going to be opening up double sentry as a follow-up here as our 5th and 6th unit of choice. Now, these sentries will allow for a scout. NightMare, he will confirm that he's being all-in, but this is a late scout. Again, it is a late double, or it is a late sentry instead of a sentry opener. Oh boy, and we do need a little bit more time to gather up energy for the hallucination. Prism is on the way. The army is amassing as we speak. How many stalkers? 7. We have 7 stalkers here for herO against the 3 of NightMare. And remember, we can bypass the wall. We can go straight for the main base. Force field. It's a double force field. NightMare doesn't know. He's in the dark. He sees the army, yes, but he doesn't see everything. And the force fields, they are wasted. No hallucination scouts, and we're going straight for the main. Yeah, massive warping into the main base as well. NightMare, he's in a lot of trouble. Boys are being pulled. They have to be. Probes off the mineral line. Good target firing out of herO, but damage is being dealt. And NightMare, he's forcing herO back. Gets a kill on 2 stalkers. Oh my god, gets a kill on the stalkers. They're coming from behind. But it feels like herO, he's lost too much. He's lost far too much here. Prism does survive, but herO, he gets knocked down to 4 stalkers. He had a stalker lead, but no longer. And we have to keep going. Again, herO, he's losing momentum. He has to keep the pressure up. But again, really good reaction out of NightMare. Really good pro pool as well. Adepts, they will commit. And the Adepts will kill some more workers in the main. At the same time, Stalkers, they do drop into the main base as well, but yeah, there's just not enough of them. NightMare, he's holding. NightMare is holding strong. herO back at home. Immortal production has commenced. Immortals will help, but again, herO needs to achieve more with his first push, and he just hasn't. He kills an Adept. That's something, but still not enough. NightMare still maintains a worker lead. He's up in bases. He's soon to be up in tech. Blink is on the way. Third gateway as well to keep up with the production of herO. And the longer this goes on, the worse it is for herO as well. He's got 2 Immortals. Another Warp in. Hallucination comes in. NightMare, he confirms lack of expansion. He confirms that herO is still very much so all in. We could do with a shield battery in the main. There we go. Shield battery in the main base to help defend. Move out is spotted by the hallucination. And herO, how can we make this work? He is ahead in army supply. Looking at the units tab, herO, he is up thanks to those Immortals. Oh my god. The Immortals do pack quite a punch. We are pushing in. So far, decent force fields. We can juggle, of course. Micro out of herO does preserve his units. But herO, we need to keep on pushing. Overcharge was spent, was wasted. Does run out. We dive on top of the army. Massive blink here from NightMare. He focuses down the prism. And can he get the Immortals up? Barely doesn't. Oh my god, the Immortals, they get so much damage done. But they will be cleaned up. They do get focused down. The Immortal count is reset. NightMare has a Stalker lead. Okay, he's up on Stalkers. He will clean this up, and NightMare, he will hold. GG gets called. herO doesn't have enough. The all-in fails, and NightMare takes a 1-0 lead. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Again, the first push of herO was the most important one. Like, momentum is so important when you're going all in. And herO, he bled out, I want to say 4 Stalkers. I want to say he lost 4 Stalkers with his first push when he was trying to push up the ramp and try and drop into the main base at the same time. It was just a little bit too chaotic. He bled out too much. And after that initial hold, NightMare was looking good. NightMare was looking solid. The first hold was the hardest, but from that point onward, NightMare was able to stabilize, and with that, NightMare, he needs one more. It's a best of 3, by the way. Best of 3. Uno mas is all NightMare needs to advance on to the grand finals. And again, NightMare, he has been making it to the finals more and more regularly in recent times. We'll see if we can do it again. As we are getting into game number 2 on hard lead. Here we go. Wow, NightMare killed so many Stalkers. He did. Again, that first fight went so well for NightMare. He did lose probes in that first fight, but again, he could afford to lose them. He had 2 bases. Probes, they're more of a resource than anything to throw away in those defenses. A solid defense out of him, and here we go. We're getting into game number 2, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of hard lead, we have our South Korean Protoss player representing Dragon KZ Gaming. The KZ, it is herO. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss player, representing himself, currently teamless. It is NightMare. Here we go. Series does continue. And for the time being, everything is looking normal. Both players setting out their probes, double gas opener into double gateway. We'll see if we do continue the all-ins. Is it going to be NightMare's turn to all-in? That is the question. Again, PvPs involving herO are usually hyper-aggressive. I mean, not just herO, but typically including a lot of the Korean players. Typically are aggressive. We'll see if that trend does continue. Probe dips in. NightMare getting a bit of damage done. as both players get into their bases. And we are just keeping an eye on the pylon counts. We want to confirm the placement of the second and the third pylon. Make sure that everything is on the up and up. And there we go. Second pylon has been thrown down in the mineral line. And likewise, second pylon also thrown down for herO. So no proxy. No proxy from either player. And both herO and NightMare confirm that. So they can both rest easy. Now, as we saw in the previous game, just because there's no proxy doesn't mean there's no one base all in. We can still commit. We can still double down. And we'll keep an eye on our players here. Interesting. Very safe openers. This time, Stalker Sentry from both NightMare and herO. Remember, NightMare, he went double Sentry quite late. He made them as his 5th and 6th unit. This time much earlier, so he's a lot more tentative, a lot more respective of herO's aggression here in Game 2. Wants to make sure he gets a read on what's going on. Third pylons have been thrown down at their natural base locations, and both players will soon be scouting. So despite the map, we are loading into Hard Lead, one of the more aggressive maps in the map pool, has the shortest rush distance out of all maps out there. So all-ins are quite common and proxies are quite common on Hard Lead, but because of how we are playing, just really safe play and both players are expanding. Let's go. Expansions are upon us, hallucinations are coming in, and both herO and NightMare are coming in for a scout, but oh! The scout is denied! herO does not get into the main, NightMare does. NightMare, he gets eyes on the tech and does see the Twilight Council. herO does not. So herO is playing blind, he's in the dark. NightMare has a better idea of what's going on. Now thankfully herO does have enough for another sentry, for another hallucination. He will soon be able to throw one down. Until then though, he's still playing blind and is unawares as to whether or not NightMare is going for a Robo or a Stargate, or even a Twilight Council. herO did at least confirm the base, so he knows it's not an all-in. So herO, he knows he's safe for the most part. Ooh, and he's playing even safer, going for a Robo follow-up. Very interesting. Both players are taking towards Blink. With this fast Robo, this can lead into faster Immortal production, and again, that will keep you safe against the aggression of your opposing player. Meanwhile, here comes that second hallucination scout. herO does confirm the Twilight Council, confirms the lack of gateways, and is getting an eye on the third base, or whether or not there is one. So overall, just really good scouting here from herO. There it is. He does split the probe towards the end there, and NightMare is working towards the third. herO should be doing the same. Now the downside is that herO's third base is delayed because of the Robo. Did prioritize that Robo and Immortal production. Very safe play here out of herO, building up the Immortals very quickly. This is very iconic to herO. He is quite fond of getting into earlier Immortals. He can build up towards 3 or 4 Immortals and push out on 3 bases with a devastating attack. Ooh, as instead of a third, that's 2 more gates. Which is scouted, by the way. Oh my, NightMare. So on top of this, he does confirm, does not take the third, throws down his own 2 gateways instead. Okay, so we're building up towards 4 gates. herO will confirm. Does get eyes on the extra gateways. Does get eyes on the Robo. And the charge researching as well, which is cancelled. Big moment there. Charge is cancelled. Third base is on the way. Third base also on the way here for herO. I think this is really smart. Like, herO scouted the aggression of his opponent. I believe he didn't see the charge being cancelled, and instead, NightMare, he just pivots away. He goes for a third base, goes for a forge. NightMare is working towards a longer game. So is herO. Very passive. In a way. Part of me wants to say that, oh, it's just a really passive game 2 between these 2 players. That's true. But both players are constantly scouting each other, and there's mind games going on as well. Like what we just saw, with NightMare just pivoting away. He wanted to be aggressive. He does get out of that, though. Likewise, so does herO once he realizes. Just both players constantly checking each other. waiting for the first player to make a big mistake, or even a small one. Now, one big thing when it comes to the army compositions is that herO is going into charge lots. NightMare cancelled, remember, he's going into a very Blinkstalker heavy composition with a handful of immortals. So a very different style out of NightMare. Overall, I want to favor herO, kind of. Like, NightMare is going to have more mobility. NightMare straight up, he will have more mobility here. He's going to be having a massive amount of Blinkstalkers rotating between the bases. Meanwhile, herO in a head-to-head fight, his army will be better. Like, Zealots do such an amazing job at just tanking shots. They really do complement the army quite well. But we'll see how this does unfold as NightMare is pushing. Does catch a probe, does lay the fourth. Good force fields, we do isolate those immortals. The immortals getting very low here, but they're doing so much damage here to NightMare. The immortals, somehow they survive. Yeah, the force fields from herO doing an amazing job at just forcing back the army. NightMare going for a massive warp in though. He dives on the immortals, the overcharge. Oh, barely keeps them alive. The immortals, they survive a little bit longer than they should have. And NightMare, he's bleeding out a lot of stalkers. And here comes a surround. It does get another immortal. But it is being forced back. As the dust does settle. That was 3 immortals that herO had lost for the one of his opponent. But that was 19 stalkers. Oh my god. NightMare, he lost a massive amount of his army in that fight. herO trading so efficiently with those immortals, and now with charge lots. herO getting so much value there. Does overextend, is going to bleed out a couple of stalkers. Trading 1 for 1. At the same time, a depth drop into the main base. There are Zealots to defend, but probes are being targeted down. And NightMare does take an economic... Elgato! He does take an economic lead, but he loses the Prism. Not quite worth it. Prism does go down. NightMare takes a 4th. So does herO. As the dust does settle, our players have similar economies, is what I will say. But herO was mining more for longer. He was mining more for far longer there. And the quality of the army, again, we have Archons, Charge Lots, Immortals. It's looking pretty robust. NightMare, meanwhile, just a mass gateway army for the time being. Now he's catching up on Charge. Charge is on the way. He recognizes that, again, pure Blinkstalker is not going to cut it. It's going to get outscaled. So we have Charge Lot, Archon on the horizon for NightMare. Can he get there? As he does engage with herO. Again, herO investing into all those immortals did pay off. As he's moving out, 2 immortals with his army. Temple Archives is already done for herO. He is incorporating Archons as well. And quality-wise, like, or composition-wise, it just feels like herO is one step ahead of NightMare. Because he is. Again, NightMare, he intentionally stayed on Mass Stalker a little bit longer. And that's hurting him. That's hurting him more than anything. If you're committing to Stalker, you have to gain momentum. You have to get some critical damage, and it just did not occur. It did not happen. Shield Battery putting in a little work. Zealots are morphing in. And Overcharge is popped. And NightMare, he collapses on the army, but again, these Archons are doing so much to the Zealots. The Zealots, they're melting. And as the Zealots fall, they do expose the rest of the army. We break through onto the Archons, onto the Stalkers as well, and herO, he dominates this fight. Zealots, they try to come in from behind. But good positioning here from herO, creating a choke point. Good force with as well. The juggling from herO, he saves the Archons. Does save them. He cleans up the Zealots and he's breaking through. Yeah, GG gets called and herO ties up the series 1-1. GG. GG, well played. Again, a relatively passive start to the game. Both players were just kind of teching up, building up towards their 3rd base, their 4th base, scouting each other. But overall, composition-wise, again, NightMare, he committed to a more Blinkstalker heavy composition overall. And he committed to a big fight, if you remember. In the middle of the game, he went for a big fight. He threw down some force fields. He tried to clean up all those immortals, but he had a really hard time engaging, a really hard time pushing in. And he bled out 19 Stalkers. That was crazy. 19 Stalkers for 3 immortals. Not quite worth it. Not quite worth it. And herO, he just got further and further ahead. He got away with Charge, with Archons, just a better army overall. And with that, we're going to the ace match. We're going all the way to game number 3. How will this story end? Where will we take us? Will our players take us as we are headed into Hecate as the ace match? Here we go. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Hecate, we have our red Protoss player representing CranKy Gaming, DKZ, fighting back and forcing the ace match. Can he go the distance? Can he face off against Dark in the grand finals again? It is herO. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player representing himself, currently teamless, but having a deep run tonight. Can he go even further? Can he cause the upset and make it to the finals? It is NightMare. There we go. Again, fun facts, for those who don't know, we did get eyes on some stats at the end of the year for KSL for 2023, and herO was the player with the most KSL championships in the year of 2023. He was our KSL champion for the year, for good reason. You know, he's very active and he's very dominant. I mean, herO, he is the best Protoss in Korea. It's reflected in all of his wins, in all of his championships. But it's a new year. It's a new year. It's a new era. And is it an era of NightMare? That's the question. NightMare forcing the ace match. Can he keep on going? Can he bring down a player, the player with the most KSL championships under his belt? I'm here for it. I am here for it. Meanwhile, again, herO is going to be coming in as the favorite player for this entire tournament. We've seen herO versus Dark in the finals many a time, many a week, and they typically go in favor of herO. But can he get there? Can he get to those finals? That's the question. As for now, standard openers. 2 gateways here from herO, 2 gateways from NightMare. We have, of course, our second pylons in the main for all to see. So no proxy, no fake proxy pylon either. And, ooh, we are going for a double adept opener out of NightMare. It's going to be Stalker Sentry out of herO. So a very safe way to open up from herO. He lacks DPS and firepower that a double Stalker opener would give him. Sentry opener is just very safe. It gives you a very early hallucination scout. Meanwhile, NightMare with double adept is going to be aggressive. And he could double down and go for a 3rd and 4th adept and even a 5th and 6th adept. And we can honestly go up to 8 adepts. For now, we are committing. We have 2 and we have many more to come. Ooh, going for a Robo follow-up as well. This should be for a War Prism. This is a very aggressive build here from NightMare. herO dips in for a scout. He does get eyes on the Robo and the 3rd gateway. It's a 1 base all in. 1 base all in here from NightMare. herO back at home, walling off. Is going to be walling off. Is soon going to be going for his own scout. There we go. He goes for his own defensive Robo. One is not quite like the other, but a Robo is very important here in PvP. If you scout an all in, a Robo can and typically will save you. Defensive immortals are key. Meanwhile, adepts are moving out. Expansion is getting up and running. Again, a bit of a role reversal from game 1, where herO is the defender, NightMare is the aggressor. NightMare, though... Oh, he cancels! The mind game! Oh my god. NightMare, he had a 3rd gateway, and he cancels the 3rd gateway. He does fake out herO, and he's going for an expansion. herO scouts. Big moment here. herO, though, he does come in with hallucination. He confirms that the gateway was cancelled, and he confirms that a Nexus is on the way. Suddenly, NightMare, he transitions away from the all-in, And herO knows. herO, he sees all, a big moment here for him. Which means he knows that he doesn't have to prioritize Immortals. There we go. Observer on the way. We don't need early Immortals. herO knows he is safe to just chill, to probe, to focus on the mid game. Whew. Okay, here we go. We're going for an Observer first into an Immortal. Still, we're going for that safety Immortal nonetheless. Adepts are coming in for some economic damage and for some scouting as well. As we do threaten the Shade. When we do commits, oh my god. Two Adepts do one-shot probes to get one. Good positioning there from NightMare. Very clutch warp in. NightMare, he does shut down one. He does shut down both Adepts. Very clean moves there out of NightMare. Behind this, Twilight Councils are on the way. It's going to be Blink. Blink on the horizon for both herO and NightMare. Ooh, as the Prism does get in, and we have 4 Adepts wreaking havoc in the bases. Getting 2 probe kills, denying a lot of mining time. And looking to dive into that main as well. As we get 2 workers, our force back. Blink is on the way for NightMare. Blink delayed for herO. Again, because of the faster Immortal, or the faster Robo. We are settling into this. Again, Blink still just starting for both players. And the game should be settling. The game should be settling down. And both herO and NightMare should be working towards, eventually, their thirds. As I say that, herO doesn't take a third base. He throws down 2 more gateways. Interesting. Gateways have been thrown down. NightMare working on his own. 3rd gateway on the way. herO should be expanding. There we go. 3rd base is being taken. It was delayed because of these gateways, but on the way nonetheless. herO just being safe. Just playing this out safely here. 3rd base now on the way for NightMare. Fun fact, NightMare, he went up to 3 gateways before expanding. herO went up to 4. So again, herO just being that much more safer. Will have that much more production available to him. As NightMare is moving out. Bearing in mind, the Blink is still not done. So the Prism should be safe. As we head towards the main base. Oh, herO, he does spot this though. Yeah, Stalkers are getting in position. Main army pushing towards the 3rd base of herO though, with Immortals. The Prism! Prism does overextend, takes a lot of hits, but does not go down. Adepts say get into the main, and it looks like we do not get a probe kill. Whew. Clutch moves there out of herO, does preserve his units, does preserve his probes. And NightMare is reinforcing. That Prism is oh so very low. We have to be very careful with how we maneuver it. We have to babysit it as best we can. Force fields are avoided. Do manage to slip away. Both players just working on their saturation. 3rd base is getting up and running. Forges are on the way. Charge in production for NightMare. Charge not quite on the way for herO though. Interesting choice. Focusing on building up a Stalker-based army instead. And the role reversal is real. Where this time, NightMare is going to faster charge. This time, herO, he's going straight up Blink into Disruptor. Very old school. I say old school. This is like early Legacy of the Void. Just straight up Blink Stalker Disruptor. No charge, no Archons. It's quite risky, but I like it overall. Like, especially considering we're talking about herO of all players, known for his Blink control. Arguably with the best Blink micro in StarCraft at the moment. I know Parting recently came back, I know, but he's still, you know, shaking off the rust. Yeah, he'll get there, Well, that's herO. He's going to be out of position. We do manage to get into the natural. We force a recall. The Immortals, they do get caught out. 1, 2 Immortals, they go down for free. Big catch there from NightMare. And herO, he has to pull the boys. He's caught in an awkward position here. Another Immortal's exposed. And we're going for it. The Prism does get sniped. 15 probes go down. And NightMare is taking a massive fight here. He's outpositioned his opponent completely. And herO, he's in so much trouble. Loses all of his immortals. Loses so many stalkers as well. herO, he loses control of his natural. GG gets called. And NightMare, he goes in for the kill. And he takes the series 2-1. A massive upset once again. NightMare, he makes it to the grand finals. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. NightMare in one swift move does catch herO out of position. herO, of course, on the right-hand side, recalled. As he was recalling herO, he lost 2 immortals. They were called out immediately. And then the 3rd immortal, or his army was split up. Force fields cut herO away from his own natural base. And that was just the perfect fight. The perfect fight for NightMare. In one swift move, GG. NightMare, he takes down herO. Let's go. Let us go. And I'm really curious, actually. I just want to double check, because I remember we casted NightMare in the finals recently. Was it in KSL? It was. Fun fact, KSL number 42. KSL number 42, NightMare was our champion. NightMare, in that tournament, he took down, fun fact, NightMare, he took down herO 2-1 again. So this is the second week in a row, the second edition of KSL in a row where NightMare takes down herO. He also 2-0'd Classic in that tournament. Fun fact, he 2-1 Classic this week. Oh wait, no, sorry. He 2-1 Creator this week, Creator. And in the finals of last edition's KSL, NightMare took down Bjorn. And to be fair, NightMare, he's known for his PvP and PvT. I'm still on the fence. I still want to say that NightMare's Protoss versus Terran is his strongest matchup. Like, NightMare, mate, he can take down Bjorn, Gumiho, and Cure on a semi-regular basis. Like, his PvT is out of this world. Likewise, so is his PvP. The downside is that NightMare's worst matchup is his PvZ. Protoss versus Zerg is the matchup that he has to work on the most. And to be fair, NightMare knows this. Like, everyone has the weakest matchup, and I'm sure NightMare is actively working on his Protoss versus Zerg. So we'll see how he performs against Dark, as it is going to be a grand finals between Dark and NightMare. Let's go. Let us go. And 2 editions in a row, he beats herO. It's crazy. And 2 editions in a row, he makes it to the grand finals as well. Again, year of NightMare, potentially. It is a little bit bittersweet. Like, I love NightMare. He's amazing. He's beautiful. I wish he was on a team. Like, I wish he gets a team. Maybe a better way of putting it. I wish he finds a team. I wish he's able to find a team here, especially leading into WTL. I know there are a lot of teams out there picking up players. You've got like Na'Vi getting involved. You got Cloud9 getting involved. Talon Esports, Vitality, Vitality. A lot of teams are getting involved in StarCraft right now, thanks to Gamers 8. But there are still some teamless players. The 2 notable teamless players are NightMare and DRG, Dongwei Gu. They're both amazing at what they do. You can see here, NightMare again, recently beating Bjorn, herO, Classic, Creator. NightMare, he's amazing. He's beautiful. Hopefully he gets picked up. Hopefully a team comes across him and they find value in him. I guess the downside is that right now everyone's looking at IM Katowice. Everyone is looking at IM, and I'm just double checking. I don't think NightMare is a part of IM, right? I think that's the big downside here. I'm just double checking. Yeah, so NightMare will not be traveling. He did not make the cut for IM, neither did DRG. That's the problem right now, is that a lot of eyes and a lot of sponsors and a lot of value is in players that are a part of IM Katowice. NightMare and DRG won't be a part of that, so that is hurting them right now. That is why that's most likely a big reason as to why, like, they are still teamless for the time being. Come the next big tournament though, come Gamers 8 or DreamHack Houston, or even WTL, I'm sure they will be picked up. That the fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. If he qualifies for Gamers 8, or they end up calling it, true, they might name change. I guess they could call it like World Championship Gamers 8. I don't know, but yeah, I do hope that he can be a part of that. Definitely deserving to be a part of that event as well. But Time will tell. Time will tell. With that, NightMare isn't playing anymore. True. Not anymore. As we are going to be going for a small break. We are going to be going on a short break here as we get ready for the grand finals. So we'll see you guys in a couple of minutes here. As a reminder, finals are going to be between Dark and... Actually, hold on. I'll set that up now. Finals going to be between Dark and NightMare. It's going to be a best of 5 ZVP. Hold on. You can see it here. I'll do it live. Dark Talon Esports. Bam. There we go. Dark versus NightMare in a best of 5. Going to be going on a short break to, of course, prepare ourselves for this. You know, prepare our body, our mind, our soul, our spirit. And we'll be back in a couple of minutes here for the grand finals. Take this moment to get some snacks, get some water, take a bit of a break, stretch, of course, look after yourselves, posture check in the chat, and we'll be back with our final series of the night. See you soon.